Scotty, it seems like the girls are in obviously really good spirits after the win on the weekend. How's it been this week, especially knowing that, okay, we've got our season back in the right direction, but now we have to capitalise on it?
Yeah, it's we don't celebrate just one win. We want to bank wins, and we don't want to be a team that just celebrate that fact that we broke through after a month of trying. But yeah, it was important from the perspective just to get a bit of belief back. I think the other thing was that the margin that was to dominate was really pleasing. Did a really good review out of it, and and just decided that what we've been showing over the past 5 or 6 weeks hasn't been that bad. The Adelaide result, although we lost, there was some good stuff behind the scenes with that as well. So it was a review based on how when we play our game properly and get it on our terms, we're quite good, compete. But then it's a matter of doing that more often, and it's not collapsing down when the momentum goes against us and making poor decisions and all those things. And that's just the journey we're on. And we absolutely hit a few potholes, but feel like we've got back on track.
Obviously, we've had moments this year where we've almost highlighted individual performances. Chloe kicking 7, Zippy's a phenomenal year. But how pleasing was it that there were lots of different contributors to the win on Sunday? Yeah,
it was very pleasing. It was a team effort, and the other part of that, of course, is that there's been players that have been down on form a little bit, and they were able to shake that off and get back to playing some good footy. And it's amazing what energy does. And Cynthia Hamilton probably leads the way with the energy on the field, and I thought she was sensational with moments off ball where she just encouraged and drove the group. She did a speech at 3/4 time that was very inspiring, and really took the group on her back. And I think that's part of what you want, really, to be honest. You want those under 25s to actually do that, so that when they become 25 to 30 and 100 games under their belt, they're the future leaders of the club.
I know there was a bit of talk about, yes, the Swans have had a lot of big wins in the time, finals wins, things like that, but I saw a few people suggest that might have been the best win in terms of a 4/4 performance that the Swans have had in their history. Would you go close to saying or agreeing to that?
I would. I'd say that was our we said it pre-game to the group. We all agreed that it's our biggest game and it's going to define us which way we go. We're either heading in the right direction or we've got some work to do and keep developing. And I thought the girls coped with that one. That puts a bit of pressure on us as well, but I don't mind that, as you know. And I think that was a key element to the game, just to win like that with the energy that we did, 4 quarters, and do it in a respectful way and not go out and over celebrate it. I thought it was really special.
Obviously, a little bit disappointing that Chloe won't be available this weekend. Can you just talk us through that injury a little bit more and what you're kind of expecting that sort of recovery and rehabilitation to be?
Yeah, so Chloe unfortunately just had a back awareness, and she said that there wasn't really any one mechanism, it was just an awareness. So we decided that it's not worth the risk and went away, got her assessed, and the medical term for it is back tightness. But basically she'll just have a week off, and she should be right to play the West Coast here.
And how is Soph Hurley tracking at the moment? Obviously frustrating, I guess, to get her back, then lose her the next week. But what are the signs pointing to at the moment?
Yeah, well, very positive with her as well. So Soph should be only a week or 2 away, and she's running and doing everything right. And it was just unfortunate that she's had a stop-start season and just can't seem to get it right. But again, it was probably pleasing that we won so well without Soph, and she's an important part of what we do. But if she's not back for the Eagles, she should be back the week after.
I know we spoke to Lulu earlier in the week, particularly about obviously Melbourne coming off a bit of a surprise loss, but on the back of a really strong Fremantle performance. How much do you look at that game in terms of, okay, maybe it's a bit of a blueprint to how you can come up against Melbourne, but also knowing, okay, we don't want to deviate too much from the way the Swans play at their best?
Well, I think that's a very good point. I watched the last 5 games of the opposition once you get to sort of around 6-ish, and there's a different game against Port, the way that Port played against as well. So you can take a little bit out of it, but I'm not really one for Oppo reporting too much. We have an Oppo report meeting, which we just did today, but it's pretty light on. It really is, to be honest, more about how we play and how we get the game on our terms, what we're doing well. You have 2 or 3 things in your back pocket that you want to do should the opposition do that, but it really is just about us and getting the game on our terms.
I think it was Carabao had like something like 17, 18 tackles in that game. So it's clear that physical defensive pressure is going to be key to getting the job done against Melbourne. And you've got clearly a few players in the team who can do that to step up. And we've seen that, like your Tanny Kelly, Cynthia's, players like that. Are you expecting that this week to really need that step up in intensity?
Well, I think we're ranked fourth for pressure in the league, and Melbourne are second, so that they're very good at it as well. But no, there's no change with that or clear focus. It really is just bringing our game, and our game does start off contest and pressure, and get the ball to the outside and off we go. And we did it really well last week. We actually did it well the week prior to the North game as well. North, we probably had a moment where we just fell because of their massive momentum. Got learnings out of that. But the Adelaide game and last week I felt was more like the way we want to play, and that all starts off pressure and contest. But it's not really a focus, it's just what we do.
And you're confident, obviously the first time without Claude this year, that the forward line will find different ways to step up. We obviously saw a lot of different goal scorers last week that they'll, I guess, need to step up again.
Yeah, well, we bring in Giselle Davis, so she comes into the side for the first time this year, and she's been in some really good form at training and in scrimmages, and tore a practice match apart. So it's just been, to be honest with you, it's just been the makeup of the team. We just couldn't get her in. So I'm really excited for her to get back into the team, and gives us a different look, gives us a taller look. And we played Lexi and her down forward, and then we can swap the ruck down there if we want a third tall as well. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit different this week with some taller targets. Won't be so much leading up down in the forward line, which Chloe usually leads at the footy. So that'll be an interesting look for us, and then might be something that we go with for the back bit of the year as well if it works.